Thanks for staying with us. So, studies have shown that a lot of men, a lot of successful men actually, have side chicks. Why is this so? Marriage as we know it is supposed to be one man and one woman. But it appears the trend has changed. In fact, it has become normal to see that a successful man has a side chick.
Several.
In fact, the side chicks are now so brazen and so confident. Like, hey, yes, I'm there. What? Join us on the show to analyze it. If there's any psychological justification for cheating, the effects of living with a promiscuous partner, and how best these kinds of situations can be handled mentally, is our very friend of the house, the Nigerian mental health advocate, psychiatrist, and psychotherapist, Maimuna Yusuf Kadiri. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Good morning, ladies.
It's always good to have you. How is everything?
Oh, fine. We're cooking one day at a time.
Yeah, we love your jacket anyway.
Thank you.
Now, you see, in the last 1 or 2 weeks, we were talking about this side chick matter has come to front burner. And it's causing a lot of people to have a conversation. Let us discuss this matter. Let us even analyze it. They are there. Fact.
Yeah.
You as the wife, should we be like our mothers? Accept, just as long as you're protecting yourself, don't come and, or should we begin to say, listen,
question it?
Should we question it? Should we challenge it? Should we, what do we do to prevent it from happening? How do we fix it? What's the new normal concerning this marriage matter?
Wow, new normal for side chick. Or normalizing the conversation for side chick.
We have to have this conversation because it's a reality.
It's a reality, it's a fact, and should married women not just fold their hands and just watch what is happening, or we should have our own conference on side chick and say,
association of
and then talk about this thing, because truly we were girls before being wives. We were single before we became married.
Yeah.
And as married women in these homes, we are also having girls. So is this going to be a vicious circle? Is this going to be a generational issue? And it's not only domiciled in Nigeria, it's a global phenomenon.
Yeah.
It's now for us to say, look, this thing is causing so much, not only to our psychic, but also showcasing the ills of the society, and our children are seeing, and some people, they've taken it as a retirement benefit. Yes, some girls have seen it as a retirement where side chick is my benefit, and I'm going to have a baby for this person who we fund, who we fund XYZ. I don't need to marry. Marry is even stress, and my freedom will be limited. So it's a conversation we should truly have, and that conversation should not just be just the married men. It has to be, community. It has to be we, sitting down and saying, what can we do differently? How can we do these things differently? Who should be, who should be the ones that would be the stakeholders?
Yes. Okay, let me let Jemana jump in here for a second.
Many Nigerians will be listening to you. I'm like, this is Nigeria. Men traditionally have wives and concubines. I mean, it's the introduction of westernization that is calling them side chicks. This is normal. Why are Nigerian women pretending that this is new?
No, ours is polygamy. Go for it legally. Nobody is holding. See, so Muslims are not to have 4 wives, right? But even the Quran will say if you can love them equally, but they decide to ignore that side, right? Yes, and still do the greed and marry the 4 wives and all that. But the traditional African Nigerian man is polygamous in nature. Just go and do the legal thing rather than having side chick here, dying prematurely, dying disgracefully, embarrassing the whole family. Because when you are dead, you don't know what is happening. So it has to be.
Okay, so you're saying we can marry the side chick?
They should marry and let it be.
So that's the solution. Okay, so
that's the solution.
Doctor has given us one solution. If you're a wife, accept that your husband can marry the side.
Marry many women.
Marry women.
Are you accepting
No. One man, one wife.
No. Yes. I cannot accept a legal structure of having a side chick or having a second wife. We did not agree to it before marriage. We cannot agree to it in between. You cannot change the rules of the game inside the game. Full stop. Now, but you see, my concern is I have engaged in conversations with many married women. And there's a fear that if my husband blow, am I going to enter? You know when we're managing, everybody, there's love. When there's trouble, everybody is together.
Nobody's seeing you
so
right
the
now.
fear is many women legitimately don't want their husband to blow because of the fear of you will become everybody's husband. You become everybody, you'll be everywhere. And how do we have that tough conversation? Because it is true that when a man becomes successful, they will have more late-night meetings. They will travel more. And those trips are not alone. Then babes will throw themselves at... and all the special portions and special packages will be arranged. So, is it that it is better whenever a woman already is married to a financially comfortable man, she should just hands off and say that I'll enjoy the money and be okay with everybody else sharing him?
Is that another solution?
Is that another solution? Is that another way to...
Truly, when you look at these things and you understand the specific vulnerability risk factors that are attached to risk factors that are attached to being married and as a woman, you will know there are some battles you should pick. Not all battles belong to you. What are these specific vulnerability risk factors? For every married woman out there, there are 4 of them. And these researches have been ongoing since in the 70s, even till date. It's still same thing. The first is if you have death or one or both of your parents before you turn 8 years old, obviously somebody is going to bring you up as a young girl before you became a woman. Then if you have 3 children or more that are ages 14 and below, I'm sure if you travel with your children alone without your husband, it's stress, it's not holiday. The third one is if you are not working at all, so you are not working in the office, you are just within the home environment. The last but not the least is if your husband is not your friend or your confidant. If you already have 2 out of these 4 vulnerability risk factors, you are at higher risk of having depression. So as a married Nigerian woman, if you know these vulnerability risk factors, pick your battles.
Hey, let us take that in for a second. So those 4 things, if you have 2.
I don't have 3 children.
You know,
So
Your both parents are alive.
No.
Okay.
You
Did they
don't
die
have-
before 8 years of age?
Okay,
so you have one. The third one, you are working, so that's not
Okay.
it. The 4th one, your
And you're very good
husband
friends
is
with
your
me.
friend.
Yeah.
So one person within your control, you have one. Just ensure you don't have the second one. So you can make sure you don't have. Like for me, I have 1. I have 3 children, right? Those 2 are above 14, but 1, I'm working, I have both parents. So one that may be an issue is my husband being my friend. So Mr. Kadri is my friend. Any quarrel we have, 11:59 p.m. before 12 the following day, we must settle it.
Okay. Now, let me throw another angle here. YK, you've not spoken. I want to hear your thoughts on this. Because there is another school of thought that says, listen, in this life, why do we get married? Some will say children, have a family, and have that structure. Now, when you finally have the children, they are grown up to 21. In fact, some of them are now 13 and they are okay, they're in university. If the man wants to say, okay, now we've born the children, we've stopped all our finances, have supported the children, we've done the mommy, daddy, husband, love with them. Now, let us go and find ourselves. Daddy, go, mommy, go. Only Kaluku, go and find your happiness. That's another school of thought. Okay, maybe it is time for side chick. Once we have done what we did, the needful, you sorted out the issue with the family. Is that the best time for a man to say, okay, it's time for me to have a side chick. Let me go and find a young girl that will make me happy, that can flip over, flip down and everything. And mommy too, go and find somebody that will go and sort you out.
No, I think you're wrong. I think the older a man gets, the less he wants of a side chick.
Are you sure?
It's when he's in his youth and everything is standing up and down and that at least
that one doesn't sound
you see,
right.
me, I don't. You see, I've been very quiet because my father had 27 wives.
I mean,
And my mother did not listen. My mother did not divorce him. She stayed with him, and today I am reaping the benefits
of her staying.
Wisdom.
Yeah. No. Perspective.
Wait.
No wisdom.
Perspective. I'm just telling you my own.
Yeah.
I'm not going to. I grew up in a home where polygamy was accepted.
Yes.
I grew up in a home. I'm not saying that my mother didn't suffer for it.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not saying my mother didn't have depression, depressive moments. She did. But I'm saying a sacrifice she made today, I don't have any, I am enjoying the
But let me
fruits
build
of her
on what
labor.
YK is saying, Dr. Memina, because it brings us back to the story of, should we therefore endure this side chick season? Because after a while...
It is not a season.
Okay, it might be a season, because
Listen,
after a while they
you
fall
see,
sick.
I'll let you
Side
chick, if you are doing it as if side chick just started last week or last month. Side chick has been
Always
there
been
since
there.
before you were born. Since before you were born, it has been with us.
Okay, when I said season...
Because at this point, wait, let me talk. At this point, we are trying to... Remember, this marriage was brought to us by Oyinbo. Going to church is Oyinbo tradition. It's not our own tradition.
Okay.
Our own tradition is different.
Yeah.
We don't even know our own tradition because as I'm sitting, I don't even know my tradition.
Okay.
Coming from YK, that's
very
let me clarify. When I said season, for every man, there's a season that you can do side chick. There'll be a season where either the thing doesn't work again or money has come down.
That's the season that you are talking about that after you have waited till all the children are in school and everything. By that time, sickness has come. Everything is not standing up. Everything is not sitting down. You are just listening. I'm just saying that season that you are saying that you should wait for is when everything has gone to the dogs.
Okay, in some cases. But that season, some people say, some people get that season at 50. Some people get that season at 50. And that's where they have money. That's where they build the house. Wife is okay. She has a jeep. She's okay. They have money to spend. That's when they start having side chicks and the 21-year-old side chick.
No.
You are talking about when they're 80. When they fall sick. When they start, when the whole thing has, the equipment has weakened.
YK is saying that they start earlier than this 50 you're talking about. When you're in the thick of things, when you're having babies and everything, he's in his prime and he's balling, and that's when he's also having side chicks. So they don't wait till they are 50 to have side chicks. Sometimes even that's when it starts declining.
Exactly. That's
because
what I'm saying.
the energy to keep both inside and outside may not be there, but when they are younger, it can keep you and keep 3 more outside.
But I was trying to get somewhere. I don't know if anybody understood that.
I get what you're saying. So it is, should we wait and take the process while they are doing their philandering everywhere? So, and then hoping that over time, when they come back home, you'll be the one they come back to meet. But I want to ask Dr. Memuna that what's the psychological effect on a woman who knows that, who is having to wait until he's done? And then, like, you're hoping he will come back to me, and I'll be the one. When we've heard stories where he did not come back to you, he decided to tell you that stay in your own house, he moves into the home with another person. What if that happens? How should a woman prepare when she's in that thick of thing of she knows? I know many women that know because their husbands are not hiding it. And for me to know, that means the woman too knows. You know your husband is doing these things. Should you sit down there and be waiting that maybe when he hits like 50 or 60, he will come back home?
Or may never come back. That's just the truth. It may never come back.
Do?
Truly, life is to be enjoyed, not endured, right? And that is why when we talk about women empowerment, it's not just about women have money. It's about women having the right mindset. Women, doing the things that they enjoy, engage in activities that they can also prosper. So for women that are in this position, whether you know, knowingly, directly, indirectly, it's in your face, it's not for, there are certain things that you are not even in control of. But you have 2 options, stay or leave. And if you decide to stay, then you now have to build a support system that will keep you there and give you reasons for staying. And one mistake a lot of women will make is that, because of my children. And these children will grow up and they would say, why did you stay? Because of us. Before those children even grow up to that level, what if you're already vulnerable and you are depressed? Because if you are depressed, there's no way you can ever take care of yourself and take care of these children. So these are certain things that we have to look at as it is right now. The options are always there.
Let me go on a quick break. We'll come back. The options are always there. I like that. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So we're still talking about how do we understand this new season, not new, this season of side chick, because according to YK, it's been there forever. We know it's there. But it's managing it now that is a problem because, you wrote a book on depression, which we'll talk about in a moment. But a woman, a wife is thinking, I don't want this man to come back home when he's sick, has cancer, prostate cancer or something, where I'm now having to take care of him, and me, I'm healthy. After he has philandered all over the world, London, China, Spain, everything, he now comes home and says, take me back. Your conscience, you don't want to take him back because you want to leave. You also want to. So the woman in that situation, she's depressed because society says, take him back.
Yeah.
He has come home.
Yeah.
And she's like, I don't want to take him back.
Yeah.
I want to move.
Yeah.
As a doctor, what would you advise her to do?
She does what is within her control, what will make her happy. Let's not box people into, a corner where she will rebel. Because over the years, she has built up anger, resentment, bitterness. So there's so much negative emotions that are going on in that. And the thing is that some of these men don't even know. It's easy to kill somebody, to kill that man. You go around, you come back home and eat that woman's food. You know what the woman has done? And it's not that they will put the kind of poison that you will die immediately. It can be gradual. People are now going on Google to check on 1,000 ways to die and so many other things. So the thing is that at that point in time, what would the woman do? As a therapist, I'm not to take anybody's side.
Yes.
Mine is to guide you, protect, put all the options on the table, and then you pick the one that will work best for you. Yeah. So if you think that, leaving the marriage is your best option, reasons valid and supported, that is it. If you think staying, no matter what, society, this is what they want, and you are okay with it, be okay with it, but find ways to adapt and, deal with your psychological issues.
Let me take this call, then I'll come to you, Miriam. Adeyinka, are you there? Thanks for calling. Hello, Adeyinka. Oh, I think we lost that call. Go ahead, Miriam.
I want to ask a question for the woman who says, I would rather stay in the house. I've worked too hard, I've sacrificed too much, just let it go for some small girl outside to enjoy it. Is there a way to normalize the conversation of accepting a side chick and still living in the marriage without being depressed?
There are ways. So you will now find what are your coping mechanisms? What are your coping skills? What can you look out for that can support you being there without, being down with any depressive episode or anxiety or anything, or even drug addiction? Because in the process of staying there and you are depressed, you find way to medicate, and before you know what's happening, it can lead to an addiction. So what are the things you can do? Do you find joy in some hobbies? Can you engage in church activities, mosque activities, NGO work? You have to just find what will work for you. That is the only way.
When I used to do makeup, I have some customers that they have parties Thursday, Friday, Saturday. They were really they funded my early makeup career, but I knew what
there
the
was
problem
something
was.
wrong.
Yeah. It was a case of since Oga is not around, every Ashwebi, if you see them decked out, like they spend the man's money, they go to parties, they will party back
Show
to
up
back.
well.
That's their way of coping with the fact that my husband is never around.
I'll come to you after this call. Good morning, are you there?
Yeah, I'm still on.
Hello, you're live. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, actually, I was actually listening to the program, my first time caller. And I think the program is about mental condition, mental implications of cheating in marriages.
Go ahead, we're trying to hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah.
He's listening to TV. We have to turn that. We have to disconnect that call.
So,
Okay, you're going to say something.
No, I was going to ask, because there's the opposite of side chick. Women have side cockerels. So what do we do with those ones? What do the men do? Because, it's always it's a two-edged sword.
Yeah.
Let us not say it's always the men.
Yeah,
Exactly.
true
Some
that.
women, too, have their own,
that's their voice.
their own side shows.
Would that be a coping mechanism?
For the men, right?
Wait,
For the woman.
For the woman.
Your
husband
How was your
having
excuse? Women do have.
Yes, women do have. So it's not only the side chicks that the men
But how does the man cope when you know your wife is
they say we're in a patriarchal society. So men are always seen as being a man up. So for the men to even discuss that my wife is doing X, Y, Z, they are always going to look at him as if he's so weak, he's not financially capable. So his friends will not even want to hear, or his family members, like, how can you be there and your wife is cheating on you? Do the needful. drive her away, marry another new wife, all that. But men too get depressed.
I've heard a serious
Men
story.
and men and
Real
truly,
life, the
yes,
man went into depression.
And
And he was begging.
Exactly.
Like he was begging his.
so it happened.
He's begging his wife's family to help him beg
Beg
his
the
wife
wife.
to be
Yeah.
faithful. As in, it's really,
You know,
really
let me,
sad.
I want to say this out here. If 10 people are sitting outside my consulting room, and 9 are women, and 1 is a man, I'll come out and plead with the women for me to see the man first before the women.
Right.
Because in our society, before a man will accept that he or she is going through a mental health related issue or psychologically down, most times it's always on the severe spectrum. They don't come at those early phases. So by the time they come, they're either depressed, they've attempted it, or they are already maybe meditating, suicide, on addiction. So it is, in our society, this man up, you are a man. Don't talk about, no, we have to all change that narrative.
Okay, let me take this call. Good morning, are you there? Hello?
Good morning. I'm here.
You're live. Go ahead, please.
Yeah. Let me say this first, that truly change is constant. Anyone can change anytime. But I want to suggest that 80% of those who are having psyche now, they have been doing that even before the man. They are into that. So their wife then may endure just because of love or whatever reason best known to them, just to have the man there. So when the marriage starts now, whatever the man is now doing, then that is the true color of what they are covering there. That's number 1. Number 2, I want to say, you see, when there is no money, women seems to sober. Women seems to sober. They will concur with you. They will respect. They will just conduct. But immediately the man boom and the money comes, the women seems to have that arrogance that I am there now. So all kind of frustrations will start coming.
Right.
Because.
Okay, I'm having trouble hearing you properly, but let me ask this question to you, doctor. Is there a way a man can respectfully have a side chick? Let me explain. Because I know a man who says, Maria, I cheat on my wife, but I do it. I don't put it in her face. My wife lives in Canada. I mean, when I'm home in Canada, I'm 100% with her, with the children. I pay the bills. When I come to Nigeria, when I go to the UK, US, I have my girls over there who I call and they are there and we do their thing. And I clean it up nicely. It's neat. Me and my wife cannot look at my phone and say anything. You know, it's very neat. There's a way we do it. So in that way, because he has respect for his wife and he cherishes what they have together. So he's doing it in a way that would not make her. So his wife knows that.
Decently.
He's been decent about it. Would we say that that's acceptable? Can we as women reconcile ourselves with that, okay, our men, they are doing it in Japan, in Taiwan, not near me. Is that respectfully done?
Respect begets respect. You're doing it and saying you are respecting her. Are you respecting yourself? Because the truth is, there's nothing like I'm doing it neatly, cleanly, whatever adjective they want to use to qualify that. Cheating is cheating. It has no, it is, you are cheating.
What you don't know won't hurt you.
And the thing is that it thinks she doesn't know. You'll be surprised that she knows, but she has just decided, look, it's not affecting me, so I will take it that way. So the thing is that there are always options. So if any woman decides to stay in a home where there's cheating, what are your options? Why did you decide to stay? Why didn't you leave? So we are not yet promoting women should start leaving their husbands. No, we are here that if you are in that house, find coping skills, find ways you can manage that situation where you wouldn't get depressed. Because if there are children in that home, there's definitely no way you can nurture them well. Women are natural nurturers. So if you start building up anger, resentment, bitterness, you will nurture your children with all those things. Right. And they will think it is normal. But by the time they go into the outer society, the society is telling them these things are not okay. So nature versus nurture.
All right, let me go on a quick break. When we come back, we continue this conversation. Take some more calls. YK, you have any tips ready for us?
Many tips.
We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So we're still on this side chicks matter, and we're trying to understand if there's a way a wife can just accept or live with this system. I mean, I'm going to come to your book in a moment. But YK, you were talking about during the break about how you're comfortable with this.
I was come to my ex-husband. He had side chicks, and I knew about it, and I didn't stress him. He used to gist me. There was this one, but there was this particular one. Him and his friend that used to go philandering together. That one wasn't married. They liked the same girl. So on the way back from the girl's house, where he was chasing the girl, they now fought. The two men fought.
Your ex-husband. Well married to you.
He was married to me.
What kind of marriage you guys have?
He told me the gist now. But when he came home, there was blood all over him. So I said, what happened? Did you go and disvirgin somebody? Why are you?
How would you?
So I was looking at me strangely. I said, what happened now? He said, it is this girl that two of them were chasing. They now fought. Till they got to Maryland. The police now stopped them. Two men like big men like you fighting. Will you stop that? Police started chastising them. I laughed so much.
Let me be sure that I understand what you're saying. Unless you're speaking French. Your own husband
who gist you that kind
who
of
gist you that she was with. Why were you okay with that?
Well, remember, my own background is different.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So it's part of your DNA.
It's no big deal.
It's no big deal. All of us.
You know, so, I mean, I prefer, for me, if my man is going to cheat on me, I prefer you to tell me than for me to go and find out outside.
Don't tell me.
Because if I find out outside, we will scatter ourselves.
Let's scatter it though.
It goes back to what I asked you. See, two of you are you're not in sync. You don't want to, you want to be told. I'm telling you that you must say,
I don't want to know.
I don't want to know. Don't want to do it.
I don't want to do it.
I don't want to know.
I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
And you people don't want to know. Me, I want to know. So that if we are going to fight, let's know why we are fighting.
I don't want to know.
Not that you tell me, excuse me, not that you tell me, why are you dressed like this today? Why am I dressed like this today? I was just like this yesterday, you didn't complain. Now, because side chick is... So I'm now starting to calculate inside my brain. Is there a babe outside? But if I know...
There's a babe. Let me ask you this
question. I know who my enemies are.
Let me ask you this question. So when you're with your man, who is your husband, and that you know has a side chick, and while he's with you, he's intimate.
How are you?
And you're intimate.
How do
you give yourself 100% when you know this same brother is with other husband?
I want to show him that one that he's doing is nothing.
I'll become free.
A different generation.
He made. See, that one that is giving you is nothing like what I'm going to give you. Let me give you correct.
Oh, wow. Okay, you know what? Let us just move YK. You are this conversation. You are not in the real world. Let's just put you. Let me come back to our guest because you have a book on depression. Yes. And it's important we talk about that because how can we women who are going through depression help themselves? I mean, many people can't afford people like you. Yes, I can't talk this, like I don't have the money. But can this book help them to find some kind of help?
So it's about changing the narratives and normalizing mental health conversation where people can get help. So there are self-help tips there. Because the first rule, if you are going through any emotional issues, is to find ways to help yourself. Not necessarily start looking at Google or looking for friends. What are those things you are doing? So first thing you wake up in the morning, how am I feeling? What am I feeling? Know what you are feeling. Am I angry? Am I overwhelmed? Am I struggling? Am I stressed? So how am I feeling? What am I feeling? Why am I feeling this way? Is it the Lagos traffic? Is it my husband's child chick? Is it whatever? So you have to, and then how can I get out of this situation? So those 4 questions are very key. They are very important. It's something that every day, ask yourself. It helps you to start looking, because I say people say, get motivated. No. Motivation without discipline, perseverance, and consistency is not motivation. You must be able to help yourself get out of that. And if you can nip in the bud what you are feeling and why you are feeling that way, it's easier to start looking at options for treatment or for management. So if it's Lagos traffic and you know you have to move from island to the mainland, your appointment is 9 a.m. on your view, leave home by 6 o'clock. Get here maybe 7:30, you are in your car even sleeping. Set alarm for 8:45 where you can easily wake up, touch up, and then come into the studio, do whatever you want to do and move. So you must help your own ministry, help your own self. Not necessarily looking for, oh, there's one. We have one psychiatrist for 1 million Nigerians. And so we don't have people like this. They don't have enough. We register 3 Nigerian doctors in the UK every day. In fact, we have more Nigerian psychiatrists in the UK than in Nigeria.
Terrible.
So there's no help yourself before you self-help them, before you start looking out for people.
This question
Yes, ma'am.
before you go. If you find yourself in a depressive state, is there a way you can overcome it without seeing a psychiatrist? Can you just, over time, try and overcome that depression?
Yes. So depression can be mild, moderate, and severe. And at the mild stage, the most workable thing that is most effective is you talking to somebody or talking to yourself or finding out what it is. So if you are stressed, what is even stressing you that is making you feel that way? The STRESS. Is it yourself? Is it trauma? Is it relationship-based? Is it economic-related? Are you sick? Or is it school or work-related? And then, once you know what your stress factor is, you can begin to practice self-care. Be self-aware so you can know what your stressors are, your triggers, and manage it. Exercise, boost up your feel-good hormones, and it can help manage mild cases of fear, anxiety, and depression. Limit your exposure to news and social media. Mute your notification. All install apps that are not good for your mental health. If Twitter, do you understand? You know what it is on that forward. You know, limit exposure. Then, of course, find and engage in pleasurable activities. Hobby things that are good for you. Then connect with people. Connect with people, whether virtually or one-on-one. The right set of people is very important. And people that are good for your mental health are people that should be in your inner circle. If they are not, fumigate them to the middle and outside circle. Fumigate them is important. Then A is ask for help. Sorosoke is not for only the millennials and Generation Z. We as human beings ask for help. It's a sign of strength and never a sign of weakness. Then rest and sleep is our R. There's no award for the busiest human being on earth. No trophy for that. Rest. Stop giving excuses. Last but not the least, eat. Eat right. COVID came. We all saw that you have to boost your immunity. So eat right. So once you know your stress factor, start practicing self-care.
Oh, I think I'm ready to go. Fantastic.
Beautiful.
You need to watch that segment again.
You need to extract that segment. Yes, I'm positive.
Thank you so much.
Self-aware.
Thank you very much for coming on the show. I appreciate it. We wish you the best in your book. Let's go on a break. YK has done her ball to my court. When we come back, we'll focus on YK. We will be right back.